Hello and welcome back to another Diabetic Witterings with me, Michael Jacks, the tea drinking author, who's currently drinking a cup of tea, but it's lemon and ginger because one of those weeks where I started off with having new hearing aids being checked over, followed by a COVID jab and a flu jab. Then I caught a cold. I'm still suffering from the cold. Yesterday I had to have injections in both eyes. So all in all, it's been one of those weeks where, there's been better times. On Tuesday, I had a nice little video go up, which was Diabetes Your Questions Answered 1. And the first thing I saw was a delightful comment from someone, I believe in America. And she said, "You are practicing medicine without a license. Maybe that is legal in the UK, but not in USA. Stop." And you get ridiculous comments from people on occasion. Yes. But for someone in America to believe that because I don't have an American medical license, therefore I must be banned from YouTube, for someone to believe that sitting here on YouTube and trying to help people with diabetes by telling them about my experience, nothing else. This is not as I've said many times on this channel, I am not a doctor. I'm not qualified in any way. All I'm doing is trying to raise awareness so that people who may have diabetes do go to a doctor and get checked over. But this woman was quite convinced that US law should be enforced in any country across the world, and anybody who talks about something to do with medicine is practicing medicine. Well, I think she needs to go and check in a dictionary what practicing means. Anyway, it is just an indication. So if you enjoy these videos, even if you don't particularly enjoy them, but you think they're worthwhile, I'll be grateful. Hit the like button and subscribe and all those things, because there are people who will try to get me pulled from YouTube just because they have a set impression about what I might be doing. Idiots. Anyway, Paul, after the last one, did say, yes, this disease is rather individualistic. I eat pears regularly, as it seems I can tolerate the fruit more than others. Citrus, watermelon, certain melons like honeydew are absolute no-nos. Apples, pears, mangoes and plums are fine. Legumes are okay, certain beans are not. Reducing stress, not getting frantic and getting enough sleep is always helpful. I quite agree with that. With this blasted cold I've got currently, I did not get enough sleep yesterday, but this is the way things are. Owing to a little pupster who last night ate another Tupperware box, which was in the sink, so she managed to reach up into the sink to lift the Tupperware box out to destroy it. Flaming pup. So, with Paul's comments, I wasn't aware that pears would give me a problem. Maybe it's not the pears, and maybe I'm just checking my blood sugars too soon after a meal. Could well be. I do eat at least one apple a day. Citrus, if I just have a small orange, a satsuma or something similar, that never seems to give me any problem. In fact, grapefruit. I've had grapefruit in a couple of hotels while they're on having my breakfast, and they don't seem to have any impact. In terms of melons, well, I have 1 or 2 cubes, but melon is incredibly sweet. But in the same way, mangoes are, so I'm surprised that you don't find mangoes have an impact on you. Plums, I find no problem at all. Legumes certainly don't seem to have any problems for me. Certain beans, I'll be interested, Paul, to know which beans you're talking about there, because I've not had a problem with any of them so far. I can feel the sneeze building. Reducing stress, that is crucial. Trying to think about any examples there, but I can't offhand. I'm certainly getting up to a very stressful time now, because I'm now entering a period where I've got to write a new book of my own before the end of March. I've got to write another book which is collaborative with someone, which I've got to write ideally before the end of December. I'm starting that this afternoon as soon as I've finished recording and editing this video. So I have got a huge amount of work pressure on right now, especially since I've also received a new pen, which I'll be talking about in Thursday's video for those of you who are also keen on pens. But yes, in terms of the ways of keeping things down, I think one problem I have got is definitely portion control. I've just had 3 bowls of soup for my lunch. Admittedly, they are small-sized bowls, and it was the smallest size saucepan I could have, and the soup itself was basically cabbage, a little broccoli, some swede, and probably a quarter of a small swede, if that, and that was about it. So I don't think that's going to have a deleterious effect on my blood sugars, but I will be checking them in about an hour's time, which will be about an hour and 3/4, 2 hours after the meal. So we'll see. But the other thing is exercise, definitely. I need to get more exercise. I'm trying to get out and about more, but it really is very, very difficult. And it's just trying to find the time. I will be taking the dogs out later on today. They're mad keen to get out. They're both demonstrating how enthusiastic they are. The Ridgeback is sitting there on her chair and hanging her head in despair. The Bernese is down here by my feet, asleep. But getting enough exercise for me means at least 5 miles. That bit was going to be edited out. Yes, getting in enough exercise for me means a minimum of 5 miles, ideally nearer 8. And that's difficult. But portion control is a problem for me. I am inherently greedy. I really need to have my stomach filled. And that was a second sneeze. Yeah, so exercise, portion control, it is difficult. So I think the main thing really is, for anybody who has got diabetes, is to keep testing, so that you can become aware of what is going to cause damage and what isn't, and make sure you hit I suppose it's a triad, isn't it? It's the type of food, it's the quantity of food, and it's the amount of exercise. I suppose I could also add sleep, but generally, to be honest, I never have a problem sleeping. Last night was different because I was just coughing and sneezing all the way through the night. Every time I did doze off, within 10 minutes I'd be awake again with a cough. So, yes. I'm not sure if there's any questions answered in that lot, but it does answer one thing, which is, should you listen to people who write to you and say, get off, you're not a medical practitioner? And the answer to that is, no, I'm staying here, pal. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope that was interesting. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.